Breaking news, and this is big, folks. Give it a read for yourself. Breaking news from the Globe and Mail. Let me just read the headline here, folks. Singh signals NDP plan to oppose carbon tax, says it puts burden on, quote, backs of working people. That's from the Globe and Mail. Let me read you another sentence here. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh signaled his party is planning to oppose the current carbon tax on Canadian consumers. Big breaking news, first reported by the Globe and Mail. And the reason that Singh is now starting to call out the carbon tax is because you took action. You and countless other Canadian taxpayers have been pushing politicians to back away from the very bad, very damaging carbon tax, and now they're starting to listen. So look, it's good that Singh is starting to call out the carbon tax, that he is signaling that the NDP is going to oppose the carbon tax. That's a good first step. But now Singh must prove to you, must prove to taxpayers that he will take action and forcefully push Trudeau to scrap his carbon tax. Look, this issue is too big for Singh to just be grandstanding, okay? So it's good that he's starting to oppose a carbon tax because you and tens of thousands of other Canadian taxpayers are pushing politicians to back away from the carbon tax. But Singh must act, and he must prove to you that he is willing to push the Prime Minister to scrap the carbon tax. But because the carbon tax, it's so expensive, right? The carbon tax currently costs 17 cents a liter of gasoline, 21 cents per liter of diesel, 15 cents per cubic meter of natural gas. And that's just the tip of the iceberg because Trudeau wants to crank up the carbon tax and make your life more expensive every year from now until 2030 and maybe beyond that. We don't know just yet. So you know the carbon tax makes it more expensive for you to drive to work. You know the carbon tax makes it more expensive for you to heat your home during the winter months. And the carbon tax is also making it more expensive for you to buy groceries at the store. Let me just dive into that for a second. The carbon tax is costing Canadian truckers about $2 billion this year, okay? The carbon tax is also on the natural gas and the propane that farmers use to heat their barns and dry their grain. Well, the carbon tax is costing Canadian farmers $1 billion by 2030. So the carbon tax makes it more expensive for truckers to deliver store to the food, makes it more expensive for farmers to grow that food, and the carbon tax makes it more expensive for you to buy the food. And before I even hear about the rebates, look, the Parliamentary Budget Officer has crunched the numbers and shows that when you add in all the different costs of the carbon tax on net makes average Canadian families worse off. And oh, by the way, not only are you paying the carbon tax, the federal government also charges its sales tax on top of the carbon tax. Now that carbon tax on tax alone is costing Canadian taxpayers like you about $600 million this year. And the government isn't even pretending to rebate that tax on tax money to you. So let's go back to the beginning here, folks. Breaking news, very big news. Singh is signaling that the NDP federally are going to oppose the carbon tax. That's a good first step, but now Singh has to prove to you that he will forcefully take action to push Trudeau to actually scrap the carbon tax. And let's not kid around here, folks. The reason that Singh and other politicians are starting to back away from the carbon tax is because you took action, because tens of thousands of other Canadian taxpayers took action, pushing politicians to back away from this disastrous carbon tax. Now, folks, if you're not already on the Canadian Taxpayers Federation Taxpayer Army, you can join the fight against carbon taxes. The fight's working, folks. You can join the fight by going over to taxpayer.com, sign the petition, scrap the carbon tax.